Hey, what about that for a game? You must be delighted.
I'm delighted at the approach that the players had in their mindset, because we were under threat of losing this game from probably 7 o'clock this morning. And you can tell, as you can hear the wind howling around the place. Blackpool, who I managed and coached and played for many years back, it's a blowy coast, it's a windy coast to say the least. It's never really a nice calm place. But when Storm Dara decided to crank it up a wee bit, I thought this is going to be an interesting day. But both management team and the referee in particular had a long discussion before the game, because we were going sort of past 7 o'clock, then 8 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, was the final say in the matter. And what I mean by that is, once that whistle started, I think the referee was adamant that it was going to finish. And then we scored a couple of early goals, so now he's got to finish the game, because there's going to be ructions if he doesn't. But as you know, I mean, Blackpool's game just down the road was cancelled, Liverpool and Everton cancelled, Aintree cancelled. How this has survived is down to nothing short of genius by the people of Fylde. They've got a pop-up kind of infrastructure here, and it's a lovely stadium, but the pitch itself was outstanding. Like the countryside has been absolutely battered with rain and wind and you name it. But for this fixture to survive it's testimony to, one, the people of the National League North, including referees, including people that make decisions, to get the game on. And we've managed to get the game on and finish the game, and quite an exciting match in the end. Got back to 2-2, seen it over the line, and when I've got Christian Dibble in goals in a penalty shootout, I'm having him all day long. So when it goes into a penalty shootout, I was feeling quite positive about getting through.
We were talking about it before we went to penalties. Tom Palmer also saved 2 in a penalty shootout to see Harriers through here as well.
Well, the funny part is I've just learned something new. You can get sent off, second yellow card or whatever it is, in a penalty shootout, and obviously it applies to the goalkeeper. Christian, he said it's getting boring, these penalty shootouts. He said you're not allowed to do any antics, you're not allowed to get in anybody's face, you're not allowed to, and it's rightly so, it's been turned round to a certain extent, because there's some bigger fixtures than this one, and that's not being disrespectful of this competition or the two clubs. But when it comes to penalty shootouts in the final, say for instance at Wembley, and somebody's playing the antic game and this and the other, we've seen people bottle it, to say the least. But Dibbs was doing one or two things on a touchline. Next thing you know, he gets a yellow card. And I said to the fourth official, can he get a second yellow card? And he said, yeah. I said, you've got to get Tom Palmer ready, you've got to get your sub-goalkeeper ready. I wasn't frightened of that one, because I knew the history of Tom Palmer. So we were in a positive mode, a positive frame of mind. We came here with a game plan that we thought we could upset them, certainly could upset the apple cart playing against a team from a higher division. And we did that in no uncertain terms in the first half. They got a lifeline with that goal, I thought, just in the first half, when it was 2-1 instead of 2-0, or even 3 or 4-0 it could have been in the first half, if truth be known. They had a bit of a lifeline, something to hang their hats on. Then they made 3 changes and put 3 first teamers, and it's not being disrespectful of his team selection. He made 5 or 6 changes before the game. We'd done my homework, and the 3 players that he brought in at half time were, one of them's a goal scorer. I think that was his 13th goal of the season, which is no mean feat by any stretch of the imagination. When you're in a struggling team and you get 13 goals from 18, 19 appearances, he's some player. Certainly at this level, and he managed to bag a goal equaliser, and he had a couple of free kicks, and then he missed a penalty. So it had everything, the game had everything. It was quite exciting, quite interesting for I think about 450 people turned up. But I'm glad I was on the winning team, because I would have still had to talk to you guys and relay all this information back to the people of Kidderminster.
Phil, you say that. It's also good to keep that momentum running as well, isn't it, after last week?
As long as we don't lose the game, I was important that we don't lose the game, because momentum's important, and I didn't go in with that mindset, because I always go in with the mindset that we could win this game, and I thought we approached it in that manner as we started well, and to go 2-0 up, and quite honestly it could have been 3 or 4, as I've said. But for then it to be in a characterful battle, to just get into the draw situation, then managed. I don't think we were hanging on, by the way, for a draw. I think if anybody was going to score the winning goal, we were. And then it goes into penalties, and then we've got the proverbials, the gonads, which is great. Great news for me. Way down the line, penalty takers are priceless. Ashley Hemmings wanted to have a fight with me after the game, because I'm taking a penalty taker off, but I'm putting a penalty taker on as well in Colby Hall. The lad's got no fear, whereas maybe Ash has missed one of late, and maybe stepping up there with a little bit more pressure. So it was just relieving that pressure. So it was a management decision where that was concerned. No disrespect to Ash. I mean, he could have had a couple of goals himself. Amari could have had a hat-trick, if truth be known, and Mascuyo was a thorn in the side. But yeah, I'm not saying everything that we did do went right, because I don't like conceding goals, but you know, we haven't lost the game. That's the main thing. And you talk about that momentum, it's that feel-good factor of winning a penalty shootout and taking it into the league form next week.
Phil, excellent work today. You were delighted to take in a big positive out of it. What would be the biggest positive you would take out of this game tonight?
I think PD's return, first and foremost. You know, it's confirmed now. You know, that's his second, third game, and he's looking. He's got that stature back. He's got that belief in himself back. Being able to change to a 4 from a 3, and that was important, you know, because we had to stodge that midfield up. Competition for places is the main thing. That's the positive from today. I've got players in there like Jim Kellerman, who couldn't get on the field of play, and he's chomping at the bit. And I put Digger on before him. Digger's suspended next week, so all of these things are headaches for me. But you know, Cam Candela's coming back next week. He served his suspension. So competition for places for me is the most important part coming into the second half of the season.